have some fun. Welcome into the Appalachian Wireless Sports Overtime. We are back. Lauren,
Yes.
we usually don't do this show together. We usually do the Saturday show together. We'll do that tomorrow night.
Whatever.
But the viewers get a double dip of us since Josh DeBoss is in Cleveland.
The city that's getting a lot of flack this week, and it's been cold and rainy up there and a little snowy, but you know who is not cold and snowy and icy?
The team that Josh is covering.
Yes, high tide hit last night when the undefeated Kentucky Wildcats tipped off against West Virginia and a big blue wave washed away all that smack talk.
Yeah. The Cats win 78-39. First time in Sweet 16 history a team has doubled up the other one on the scoreboard. Let's go to Josh McKinney and Tanner Hesburgh now with a preview of UK's Elite Eight game with Notre Dame Saturday night.
Well, good evening once again from chilly Cleveland, Ohio. Josh McKinney, Tanner Hesburgh. Kentucky getting set to take on Notre Dame. Josh, the Cats look mighty good against West Virginia. The question is, can anybody stop them at this point?
Well, if they play the way they played against the Mountaineers, it's going to take the dream team from '92 to beat this team. But let me tell you, Tanner, the game against Notre Dame Saturday night is expected to be a lot closer than the game the Cats played on Thursday. While Kentucky rolled to a 78-39 win over West Virginia in the Sweet 16, the Fighting Irish were taking care of business against Wichita State, beating the Shockers 81-70.
In other words, they're one of the best two-point shooting teams. They're one of the best three-point shooting teams. They're one of the most efficient teams in the country. They score in bunches. They can score at the rim, layups, post-ups. They can score on breakdowns.
Saturday's regional final is a stage Kentucky is used to being on, having now advanced to the Elite Eight in 5 of the last 6 years.
This is a one-game shot. He's got his guys playing as well as they've ever played. Our guys played a really good game without Carl. And you know what? It should be a great basketball game. It's going to be a very hard game for us because of how they play, how they spread the court, that they're defending better, that they're not afraid to let balls go. They've got guys that will attack the rim and want to. This is going to be a hard game.
But for the Irish, it has been a while, 36 years to be exact, since a trip to the Final Four was last on the line.
As much as you look back, you got to still, be in the present time and know that you're going at this. It's completely different. You can't rely on, history to play its course. You need to write your own history, and that's something that I think we've talked about within the, the last 24 hours, and something that we'll be focused on, going at this with our best foot forward and really sticking together during it.
And they know if this is to be the year to end the drought, it is going to take a historical performance to knock off Big Blue.
We are America's team tomorrow, Al. There's no question about it. Got some great texts, and we love it. We certainly will take all that support. We've got a monumental challenge on our hands, but we played in the best conference in America. And, going through the teams we had to go through in ACC play, I think has us very prepared to play against a great team like Kentucky.
And Tanner, we've seen it all week long up here in Cleveland. The crowd not as big as Louisville last week, but still a lot of Kentucky fans making the trek here to Northeast Ohio.
All right, some very passionate Big Blue fans here in Cleveland. It's a Big Blue takeover, and today I talked to one fan whose passion kind of stands out from the rest. Thomas Younts is hoping to add some more national championship ink to his collection of 50 tattoos. Younts is from Virginia, but grew up a Kentucky fan and is in Cleveland to cheer on the Wildcats.
I love my Wildcats, and I love UK, and I want people to know it, and I want them to see it on me and everything. That way they will know who I support. And I mean, I have people all the time that come up to me and say, "Let me guess, you're a UK fan." Yeah, just a little bit.
And hopefully he gets to get that 40-0 tattoo on the side of his head if Kentucky wins the national championship, like he said.
Of course, the Kentucky Wildcats and Notre Dame Fighting Irish playing Saturday night in the Elite Eight. First meeting between the two in the tournament since 1970. We'll see if the Cats can make their 17th Final Four. From Cleveland, Ohio, for Tanner Hesburgh, I'm Josh McKinney for Sports Overtime.
They look a little chilly over there, didn't they?
Stuff coming out of their mouths. My gosh. All right, 3 wins away now from national championship number 9 for Kentucky. UK now plays Notre Dame in the Elite Eight, the Midwest Region Final. Winner goes to Indianapolis to play in the Final Four. This is the first time since 1979 Notre Dame has been to the Elite Eight. UK leads the all-time series versus the Fighting Irish 42-19. Approximate tip time for this game is 8:49 Eastern. Live coverage on TBS. And then you can join us right here on the Appalachian Wireless Sports Overtime Saturday night for all kinds of highlights and post-game reacts.
So Kentucky will play Notre Dame, and then if the Wildcats win, they will face the winner of Wisconsin-Arizona in the Final Four. Wisconsin, the number 1 seed in the West region. Arizona, the number 2 seed. This is a rematch of last year's Elite Eight game when the Badgers knocked off the Wildcats by 1 in overtime. Game will tip off before Kentucky at 6:09, also on TBS. Well, coming up next on the Appalachian Wireless Sports Overtime, Donnie Tyndall out at Tennessee. Find out why and also what he had to say about getting fired after year 1.
Yeah, yikes. Also coming up, Louisville plays its Sweet 16 game. See if the Cards are headed to the Elite Eight. At Donnie Tyndall's introductory press conference last year, Tennessee Athletic Director Dave Hart said he reviewed Tyndall's violations at Morehead State, quote, very thoroughly. The problem is now he has details of his activities at Southern Miss. Hart has fired Tyndall after 1 year on the game.
Tyndall was being investigated by the NCAA for potential rule violations related to improper financial aid of 2 Southern Miss players. The NCAA briefed Tennessee about the allegations prior to the firing, and when Hart found out, he decided to cut the cord. Tyndall was 16-16 this season. Here's what Hart had to say to the media about the decision.
I do. Just as I bear responsibility for any and all hires that I've ever made, of coaches, of administrators, and I'm proud of my track record in that regard. But I'm certainly not perfect, and I've yet to meet that man or woman who is, and I'm certainly not. But I think, we've hired 6 coaches, inclusive of Donnie. Unfortunately, now we'll be searching for a 7th coach in the last 3.5 years.
All right, more from Hart here in a statement issued to the press. He says in it, quote, it is disappointing that we have to take this action. It is highly likely that Coach Tyndall will face significant penalties at the conclusion of the NCAA's infractions process.
UPike head basketball coach Kelly Wells is a former teammate of Coach Tyndall. The two played together at Morehead State. UPike and Tennessee even played in an exhibition game this season where the Volunteers won. Coach Wells says it's a tough situation for everyone involved.
Well, as a friend, an alum, we played together at Morehead State. I hate it. There's so many lives that get affected by those kind of decisions. I don't know all the details to it, and I'm really not concerned about the details. I hate it for Donnie and his family. I hate it for his assistant coaches who are all going to be affected by this transition as well. I can't imagine the players going through this 2 years in a row now. It's just a very disappointing overall situation. I know Coach T will bounce back and he'll do great.
All right, for a 4th straight year, Louisville is in the Sweet 16. Oh, Ricky P. Sure knows how to coach, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. The Cards are 5-1 in Sweet 16 games under Coach Rick Pitino.
Yeah, tonight, Louisville playing a team that beat them on Valentine's Day.
Aww.
8 seed North Carolina State, 4 seed Louisville. Winner goes to the Elite Eight in the East region. Let's go first half. Cards by 2, Wayne Blackshear. He starts the game off real strong. Welcome to Wayne's world. Next possession down, Blackshear. Oh, the floater. 10 for him. Louisville up by 6. He's loving it. All right, now, poor old Abdul Malik Abu. Oh, Abu gets blocked by Mango like the fruit mangok. Mango.
Oh, my goodness.
Whatever. Blocks him into downtown Raleigh. Take another look. You already took another look.
I wrote that so you couldn't get confused.
Well, Abu gets his revenge, so I get my revenge. He dunked it right there. Gosh, I'm such a loser. 15 ticks left. The circus shot no good here by Anthony Barber. Gets his own rebound, and he throws it out to Ralston Turner for the 3. He was sitting down. Oh, wait a minute. Better get back on defense because this is what happens right before the buzzer. Terry Rozier. Cards down 2, though, at the break. Second half now. We haven't seen Montrezl Harrell much. Oh, there he is. He finished with 24 points.
Yeah, whatever.
He's the human energy drink that just keeps on going. Terry Rozier had himself a night. Step back, Jay. Oh, goodness.
Dangerous.
That's a backyard ball right there. 17 points, 14 rebounds. He also had 4 assists.
This is pretty.
Getting it done. The kick out to who?
Quentin Snyder.
Yeah, former Mr. Basketball here in the state of Kentucky. 4-point game with 12 minutes to go. Caleb Martin misses the layup. BJ Anya. Anya face. Another look. Oh my goodness. Anya. Trevor Lacey led NC State in scoring with 18, and he gives them the lead right here. The pull-up 3. Wolfpack, they're up by 1. Anton Gildo hadn't scored since February 28th, and there he is. He comes in, gets 7 points off the bench, and then later on the break, Terry Rozier. Oh, he's balling. Third time in 4 years, Louisville is back in the Elite Eight. Rick Pitino, now 12-1 in Sweet 16 games, the best record by any coach with more than 5 appearances there.
All right, my turn. Detroit Lion quarterback Matthew Stafford supporting Michigan State, who ousted his alma mater, Georgia, in the first round. Lon Kruger, Tom Izzo, Oklahoma, Michigan State. Shake it up. First half, Matt Costello. Buddy, who hits the layup, makes the free throw. Sooners are up 8. Off the Jordan Woodard miss, Kadeem Latin. Put back dunk in transition.
Oh.
Oklahoma up 10 on old Sparty. Here comes Sparty, though, out in transition. Alvin Ellis, the third, finds Galvin Schilling for the dunk for 2. Later, Tayshaun Thomas. Buddy Hield, the drive. The bucket from the corner, easy lay-in. Sooners are still up 10 on Michigan. Back comes State. We're going in transition again. Travis Trice finds Bren Forbes, corner 3 ball. Got it. Let's go to the Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard. Michigan State pulls out the win over Oklahoma 62-58. Now, the Elite Eight in the East region is set. Tip time is set for 2:20 Sunday right here on WYMT.
I just want everybody to know, when you said out in transition, you did the shoulder dance.
I did?
Yeah, it cracks me up.
I don't even know. Coming up next on the Flash of Wireless Sports Overtime, 2 more games to go.
Yes, Zaga, UCLA, Duke, Utah, highlights from Syracuse, New York, and Houston, Texas. Shoulder dance, shoulder dance. All right, Coach K versus Coach K tonight in the South Region Sweet 16. Duke's Mike Krzyzewski and
Utah's Larry Krystowiak.
Oh, man.
Killed it.
I just want to see if you can get that right. Yeah, she gave me a high five. She got it. It is Krystowiak. And unlike Coach K, the one at Duke, who has been to the Sweet 16 22 times, Krystowiak, who is in his 4th year as the coach at Utah, is the only coach in the Sweet 16 that has never been to a Sweet 16. All the other ones have.
Knowledge dropped.
Booyah. Duke, Utah. Winner goes to the Elite Eight. His nicknames, by the way, are Crisco and Special K.
That's great cereal.
Great cereal. According to
Red berries.
Wikipedia. What am I saying? Well, there you go. There's a Utah dunk to start off the game. First half, Tyus Jones misses the shot, leads to. So that was Jaleel Okafor, my bad. That was the first highlight. Tyus Jones now picked off by DeLon Wright. He goes right by the defense, goes the distance, jams it home. Now we got
that floor cam, though.
Floor cam's pretty sweet. Duke's still up 4. Big problem here. Justice Winslow on the ground, the rock. DeLon Wright, he goes after it. They call him for his 3rd foul. Bunch of yelling. That doesn't help anything. So lots of problems. Utah would end up turning the ball over a bunch. There's 1 turnover. Now a 2nd turnover. And this is going to lead to some points. Tyus Jones. There you go. Let's go to the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard. Duke is in the Elite Eight. They win this one over 5 seed Utah 63-57.
Do you know the spread was 5.5? UCLA coming into the Sweet 16 as the only double-digit seed left. The Bruins taking on Mark Few and Gonzaga. First half, Zags up 3. Kevin Pangos high off the glass. Everything going well for both teams early. The depth perception is always a factor in these huge football stadiums that they play these games in. Thomas Welsh for the layup for the Bruins, but then it gets icy. A brick over here, a brick over there.
Bricks everywhere.
Bricks everywhere. Bryce Alford, Kevin Pangos. Oh, there's Bryce Alford.
Kyle Wilshire. They're all made. Let it rain. Oh my goodness.
19 straight missed shots.
This is terrible.
You only see 6 of them because we don't want you to get bored. We want you to keep watching. The score was 16-10 with 8 minutes left in the first half. Norman Powell finally gets a bucket after 6.5 scoreless minutes. We go to the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard. First time Gonzaga has made the Elite Eight since 1999. I was 9 years old. The Zags get 8 points, 10 rebounds out of former Kentucky Wildcat Kyle Wiltshire.
As far as the program, it's the players. It's 100% about the players and the players that have been here, and we can feel them from all across the world, either playing in the NBA or playing overseas or working and raising families. They're all behind us. They've all reached out to us, and they know it's the one accomplishment that we haven't done. Go to a Final Four, and now we finally have an opportunity to do that.
The South Regional Final is set in the Elite Eight. It'll be Duke and the Zags in Houston. The game will be right here on WYMT. Tip time set for 5:05 Eastern Time. These two played a classic in 2016. If you remember, Adam Morrison, J.J. Redick, they call it the crying game. Because
that was a crying game.
Yeah, but it was 2 National Players of the Year. Of course, they split the award that year, and it was wild, so it should be fun. Good to see Mark.
There's no crying in basketball. Up next on the show, our shot of the night.
Yes, plus we'll preview what's ahead one more time for the Kentucky Wildcats as they prepare for their Elite Eight game against Notre Dame tomorrow night.
Time now to announce our McDonald's Student Athlete of the Week. Haley Stevens is a senior at Phelps High School. She's a 4.0 student and is a captain of the cheerleading squad. She's also a member of the volleyball team as well and is the vice president of the Beta Club. Congrats, Haley, our McDonald's Student Athlete of the Week.
All right, now time for our Long John Silver's Nothing But Net shot of the night. Jaleel Okafor for Duke. He goes baseline. We slow it down for you. Palms it and kills it. He finished with 6 points, 7 rebounds as Duke advances to the Elite Eight. Jaleel Okafor has the shot of the night. All right, fun show. Hope you had fun watching. Kentucky tomorrow?
Kentucky tomorrow at 8:49 tip time on TBS. But then come back, join us, because we will have reaction, highlights, and a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, I think we might even have a shot from State Street. I think we're working on that. We're going to have cameras all over the place.
Teaser.
It'll be fun. And if they win, they go to the Final Four to Indianapolis, and they'll play the winner of Wisconsin or Arizona. Should be fun. Can we get a shoulder dance? We have 30 seconds. All kinds of shoulder dances.
I'm not going to shoulder dance for 30 seconds.
Okay, we'll have fun. Enjoy the game tomorrow. We'll be back. Come back. See us.
Come back. I promise it'll be fun. Good night.
It won't be as bad as tonight.